for, you'll not find. Because you don't know what you're looking for. Understand? People look for some miracles, some things. It's all within the objective world. But self-realization or Atma Jnana is beyond the mind. You don't know what you are looking for. Okay. So in this sense, I never looked for anything. I never seeked anything. Mostly all that activity has completed in last lifetime itself. The search, seeking and all. In this lifetime, I was just very clear that the grace, the consciousness, the God will show me the way. I don't have to cry. I don't have to seek. I don't have to do anything. So much of trust in Ishvara, existence. What is required for me will appear. In that sense, what was required appeared. And when it's required, it's appeared. There's no, I'm saying, in the sense of no urge asking for something.
ಆತರ ಅರ್ಜಿರೋದನ್ನು ಹಂಬಲ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ ಹಾಗಂದ್ರೆ
that's a wrong teaching. See, there is a teaching which is wrong. Teaching is given. You have to drop the desire for enlightenment, which is not the right teaching.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. You need to have that to get there.
See, this is actually people who don't understand the spiritual journey. They give their own teaching. Okay. It's all wrong understanding which comes in the spirituality. See, we have to have we have a lot of desires in life. I want this, I want that, I want that. Right? Is it practical for anybody to drop all the desires?
Probably not.
So it's not. Dropping desires is not a practical suggestion. Okay. So, but what will happen when you have for a desire for something higher, the lower level desire gets dropped. Understand? By dropping desire itself is a negative quality, negative thing. But when you get something higher, bigger, the lower will get dropped.
Automatically by itself. Yeah, I see that.
So you don't have to do any effort to drop the lower.
Correct.
In that sense, dropping desire is not a practical suggestion. Hold on to something bigger and greater, the smaller will fall. So, for example, I'll give you your own life. You have become a doctor. For studying for doctor medicine, you have to spend many years in MBBS, doing your master's, going for higher study. Right? So your desire is, I want to become a great doctor. But when that I want to become a great doctor, a bigger desire is there. The smaller desires will drop. You don't go into a movie. You don't watch. You don't waste your time. Right? Like everybody wants to watch a movie. You want to play cricket. You want to enjoy time with friends. But the bigger desire is consuming you. I want to become a good doctor. Then all you will get priorities in life. The lower priority desires will drop. You don't have to drop the lower priority desires. Just because somebody drops the lower priority desire doesn't get the higher. If somebody has the higher desire, the lower priority desire will get dropped. That's the other way. Consequence. It's like saying, some student wants to do IIT, get a good rank in IIT. He'll study hard. He'll not go for a movie. He'll not go to the cricket. He will focus on studies. And he gets a good mark. So now lower level desires of going to movie, all these things get dropped because his focus is on the studies. Higher. Now let us tell him that, no. We'll not tell that higher IIT. You should not study. You should not go for movies. You should not go for play. Drop the desire for movie and play. It doesn't make sense at all. When you have a clarity and purpose and direction, the lower things will fall by itself. So vairagya, detachment from the lower is not a primary focus.
Focus.
Understand? That's a byproduct.
Right.
Byproduct something higher, more greater. Correct?
Then
why? The nature of mind is designed for seeking happiness anytime. Mind is designed for seeking happiness. So when mind seeks happiness, any desire is for seeking happiness only. Okay. So now, if the mind gets convinced that there is a greater happiness here, then it will drop smaller happiness. It's a natural process. There's no force. Vairagya is not a forced habit pattern. Vairagya is simple byproduct. If you are focused on higher, the lower will get dropped. If the mind is convinced that there is higher joy, higher peace here, then lower things will drop. Now, but if you by dropping lower, you will not get higher.
Got it.
Right? So now it comes to enlightenment. People say the enlightenment, I have to get a desire for enlightenment or liberation, mukti, mokshatva. So while the concept of dropping the desire itself is false, there's desires cannot be dropped. Right? If you are dropping a desire, the desire will come back to you and bounce back. Desire gets dropped when higher desire is there. The lower desire will get dropped when the higher order desire is there. So drop the desire is a false teaching. Hold on to a bigger desire, then smaller desire will fall. That's the right teaching.
Correct. I agree.
So that's where Vedanta says, hold on to a bigger desire called mumukshatva, liberation. Okay. So you have to have burning desire for mumukshatva, liberation. And this desire is called mother of all desires. Because small desires, each is for happiness. Mokshatva or liberation is freedom. It's infinite bliss. Ananda Swarupa is my nature. Brahmananda Swarupa. So in that Brahman Swarupa, what is there for a small drop of happiness? The drop of happiness will get dropped because your aim is higher. Your aim is bigger. Understand? So that way, even the desire for mumukshatva develops, liberation develops. The other desires will get a lower priority. They'll get dropped by themselves. You don't have to drop desires. They'll get dropped.
Yeah, by themselves. Yeah.
By themselves.
Yeah.
So then you have a desire for mumukshatva. Okay. Now, the challenge for our life, in our life, is if I have a desire which cannot be fulfilled, then my mind will not go there. Suppose you have a desire to make $1 billion. Your mind will not go there. You'll say, what the hell? Where will I make $1 billion? $1 million is very difficult. So mind will not focus there. Understand? So now the question is, mumukshatva is a practical desire. That question will come in the mind. Is it practical? Is it concrete? Or is it some hypothesis? It's an imagination. Right? When the mind gets convinced, it's not hypothesis, it's a practical reality. I can also get it. Then the mind will get focused. If mumukshatva is there, you'll say, okay, a liberation or enlightenment is possible. That's possible only for Mahas like Ramsa or Vivekananda, not for me. Then mind will understand. Yeah. So a practical desire for liberation, which means it's the mother of all desires. All desires, small desires, a bigger desire is there now. I want to get infinite bliss. All bliss are finite. I want to have eternal bliss. So that's a bigger desire. So the mind has to be convinced that it's possible. it's practical. Then mind will focus. Others' mind will not focus.
Correct.
Right? For example, if a candidate is failing in IIT, failing in SLC, hey, study for IIT, you'll get IIT good rank. The candidate will not, energy will not come there. He'll not do. Oh, it's possible for me, then he'll put all his force. So then we have to ask the question, is mumukshutva possible for me? Is it for me? There are a lot of concepts will come. Mumukshutva means somebody is left the house and become a monk. Mumukshutva means somebody is living in Himalayas. Mumukshutva means somebody has done a lot of good karma in past life. Okay. Where am I? I am a doctor doing some profession. Is it for me? That question will come. See, mind is good in asking questions, right? It's right. It's like a lawyer. He'll ask you, okay, why do you want to drop any desire? Is mumukshutva for you? Can you get it? That question will come. Right? So now all those doubts will get clarified. When you meet a real person, a real master who removes those doubts, and the conviction will develop. Oh, it's for me also. I can also get it. Then all your energy gets channelized. Then all other secondary desires, small desires will get dropped from your life. You don't have to drop desires. The desires will get dropped by themselves. Because you are focusing your energy on channel higher. Now, people come back and say, drop the desire for moksha also. All desires are false. Okay. So that is a false teaching. It's not a real teaching. So the mumukshatva means liberation. So now you cannot get what you don't have. What you don't have, if you get it, you lose it. Right? What you don't have, if you get it, you lose it. So if you get 100 rupees, you lose 100 rupees. But mumukshatva, liberation, is not what you get. In that sense, mumukshatva, liberation, is your own nature. It's not you get. It's only that you are ignorant about that, you have forgotten about that, you are not aware of that. How to recognize that liberate? I'm liberated. Are we clear?
Yeah, removing that screen or ignorance or understanding
so,
the true nature.
Mumukshatva or liberation is not what you get. Mumukshatva or liberation is what you recognize.
Recognize. Correct.
So now you have a desire for liberation. And the desire for liberation has to be converted into desire for jnana, because jnana alone can remove ignorance, nothing else. Understand?
Yeah.
So now drop the desire for liberation, convert the desire for jnana, Atma jnana.
No.
So you have to drop the desire for liberation, because how to satisfy the desire is through Atma jnana.
No.
So people say drop the desire for liberation, then they are not telling the full thing. Drop the desire for liberation has to be converted into desire for self-knowledge, self-enquiry. Are we clear?
Yeah.
Now self-knowledge or self-enquiry has to be converted into a realized master who will give me that. So you say, I want to study my cardiac surgery. Then you'll have to find a good school there. So jnana will finally lead to a good master. So desire for liberation, so smaller desires in life get dropped when the bigger desire comes, desire for liberation, which is more practical possible. So desire for liberation gets dropped when you understand liberation means jnana, wisdom. Desire for liberation gets dropped now. There is a quest for wisdom. The quest for wisdom will take you to a master who can satisfy that quest. So see the process of conversion of desire into many things. Desire for smaller things gets converted to desire for liberation. Desire for liberation gets converted to desire for jnana. Desire for jnana will take you to master.
Master.
So there it ends. After that, nothing is there.
Yes.
That's a dead end. That's why Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena parisevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Oh Arjuna, if you have desire for jnana, Atma jnana, then find a master. Tadvidhi pranipatena. The one who is realized himself. Pranipatena, surrender to him. Parisevaya, do service. Pariprashnena, seek answers. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvarshinaha. They will give you the wisdom, okay? And that wisdom will fulfill you. So, dropping the desire is impractical suggestion. Desires get dropped when you have a bigger desire for liberation. Or any other, for that matter, any other bigger desire will drop the smaller desire. The bigger desire for liberation has to be converted to desire for wisdom. Desire for wisdom has to be converted to seeking a master. And when you come to the master, it is a dead end of your seeking. You have found somebody who is living embodiment of wisdom, who is able to give the answers to you, and the confidence that, yes, I am also mukta, jivan mukta, that confidence grows in you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. In this process, so how much of it is our prior previous lives achieve or accumulation of your good deeds? How much is your ichha shakti or freedom of will, or so to speak? How do they, what proportion, or like how they do combine? And so that way there's still hope. Like if you think that everything is already predestined, then it takes away some of your incentives.
This understanding of everything is predestined is wrong. It's not. You have to understand with a quote mark.
I see.
the quotation mark is missing here.
I see.
Okay, so many people say it's everything is predestined. So fine, that's a conditions apply.
Yeah.
If you don't understand the conditions apply, you will misunderstand it.
Correct.
Okay. So there is a total misunderstanding about this teaching of predestiny.